Okay, so we've seen TextView code for the first time.
But it's kind of hanging out in limbo.
Right. We do need a space where we can sort of house it.
Yeah, and that space is an IDE.
Wait, there's that acronym again.
Yeah.
What did it stand for, Catherine?
Integrated Development Environment.
Right. And we are going to be using Android Studio in this class. This is what it looks like. Still a little intimidating.
Yeah, I think we might need something that will help our learner ramp up a little bit easier.
Right. So we've been working on developing something that is Android Studio on training wheels, and in the tradition of really convoluted acronyms in computer science, we are calling it XMLV.
Which stands for XML Visualizer.
So you write a little bit of XML, you get to see the output. You write some more, you get to see more output.
Yeah, so let's go use it.
Okay.
Since this XML Visualizer was created specifically for this course, it won't provide all the functionality that Android Studio supports. But eventually, in the problem set of this lesson, we'll get you into Android Studio so you won't need this website anymore. A link is in the instructor notes if you want to follow along. For this code, the text says happy birthday, so when I look at the device, it says happy birthday. Now let's try to change the text to happy birthday, Kunal. And then when I zoom in on the device preview, you see that it says happy birthday, Kunal. Now what happens if I try to change the width and the height? I'll pick some arbitrary values like 300 dp for the width and 500 dp for the height. And now in the preview pane, you see that the text view is a lot bigger. The text, though, however, is still the same size in the top left corner. Notice that for the width and height values of 300 and 500, it is followed by dp in each case. This is a unit of measure, like centimeters or millimeters, that we use to describe the size of views on Android, as well as the distance in between views. The unit dp stands for density independent pixels. Let me explain why we need that. Say these beautifully drawn rectangles represent different devices. They're the same physical size, but they differ in terms of resolution. This is a medium resolution device with a medium number of pixels on the screen, high resolution, and an extra high resolution device. When I say pixel, I mean a phone screen is made up of many tiny squares which are pixels, and they light up based on what you're looking at. So if I define the size of a view, for example, a button, to be 2 pixels tall by 2 pixels wide, this is what it would look like on a medium resolution device. On a high resolution device, it would also be 2 pixels by 2 pixels, but it's a little bit smaller because there's a lot more pixels trying to be packed into this device. And then on an extra high resolution device, where there's tons more pixels packed into this space, this button is actually pretty tiny. I can barely tap on it with my finger. I have to use the edge of my finger or my fingernail to reach it. Just because I have an extra high resolution device doesn't mean I have a smaller finger. I still want to be able to tap the buttons on the screen. And that is why we have density independent pixels. I can define my button to be 2 dips tall by 2 dips wide. And this is what it would look like across the different devices. It's the same physical size, but under the hood, Android is mapping it to a different number of pixels. You don't have to worry about any of that logic. All you need to remember is that you need to define your sizes in terms of dip values. When designing your apps, we recommend that all touch targets, like buttons, should be at least 48 dips tall and wide. Notice that it says 48 dips and not 48 pixels. Otherwise, it would be really tiny on this extra high resolution device. This will make your app easy to use for everyone. So with all of this knowledge, I want you to try and change the TextView code now. You're going to be writing your very first lines of XML. How exciting! So first, try to change the text in the text view, and then try to change the size of the text view. Then, I want you to try to create an error, sad face, and then I want you to undo it, happy face.